Welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Criterion, your exclusive channel reviewing and previewing new and forthcoming releases in the collection. In this edition, we look at the 1983 post-punk revolution that is Born in Flames, directed by Lizzie Borden and coming to the collection on Blu-ray. Lizzie Borden's 1986 film Working Girls is already in the collection, and it follows a day in the life of several prostitutes in a Manhattan brothel. 3 years earlier, she made Born in Flames in 1983. She was known back then as a radical intersectional feminist filmmaker, and the film explores racism, classism, sexism, and heterosexism in an alternate socialist democratic United States. The title comes from the Red Crayola song, which we heard in the opening titles, Born in Flames, which appears in the film and was written by Mayo Thompson, a member of the conceptual artist group Art and Language. The film's set during the 10th anniversary of a peaceful socialist democratic revolution, and it follows two feminist groups in New York, each voicing their concerns to the public by pirate radio. One group, led by an outspoken white lesbian, Isabel, operates Radio Ragazza, and the other is led by a soft-spoken African-American called Honey, who operates Phoenix Radio. Now, what makes the film work is the sincerity of its unique perspective and how the DIY feel of the production pairs nicely with its underground guerrilla warfare themes. This is not a film where a corporate entity appropriates the aesthetics for the underground for profit, and Born in Flames was patchworked together with little budget and volunteered improvisational performances from an eclectic cast. While the results may seem uneven on some levels, it shines in its intensity. The movie imagines a future wherein the USA has gone through a peaceful and socialist revolution and follows several women who are struggling in this new America. The movie's been labelled as science fiction, but it would be actually more accurate to describe it as alternate history or speculative fiction. There is no futuristic tech or supernatural elements, for instance. Although the movie could be considered dystopian, the characters complain more about how things haven't changed since the revolution, implying that the America of the 1980s is largely still intact. The movie was filmed on location in New York, with props and logos from fictional parties being the only main visual difference from actual reality. In addition to being mismarketed as sci-fi, the film's also sometimes labelled as LGBTQ+. Now, while this label is not inaccurate wholly, the film does feature queer characters in it. It should be noted that the film does not spend time on any queer romance, nor does it deal with specific queer issues. There is a quick shot of women being intimate, but the film can only cover so much in its 80 minutes running time. The film's told through many different segments, including the meetings and direct action taken by members of a guerrilla political group called the Women's Army, clips from state-run news stations, segments from two DJs for underground feminist radio stations, and a subplot involving female journalists at the Socialist Youth Review and their male supervisor. Now, none of the characters are strongly developed, but this isn't that kind of film. Borden cited Jean-Luc Godard as one of her main inspirations, and that inspiration is evident in the politically charged mouthpieces that the movie non-narratively floats amongst. The effectiveness and artistic merit of being so didactic can be debated, but Born in Flames never manages to feel boring or unoriginal in the presentation of its ideas, and it never comes across as omnipotent. It serves more as a call to action in the name of feminist intersectionality than a smug vessel of alternative stylings. Borden's movie holds a mirror to the world, and it is in many ways a highly relevant examination of leftist desires. It questions whether democratic socialism would solve as many problems as its proponents argue, and if constant calls for solidarity and togetherness may inadvertently mask the silencing of disenfranchised voices. But even so, it intensely criticises the oppression under capitalism in the 1980s, which persists today among gender, race and class. Every time the Red Crayola song repeats in Born in Flames, it soundtracks a montage of women performing labour. And in these montages, the director Lizzie Borden strings together a fractured, frantic vision of what's often dismissively described as women's work, offering a varied sampling of what appears to be documentary footage of women at work. The labour is visualised in grocery store checkout clerks, office receptionists, childcare professionals, dental assistants, nail salon technicians, school teachers and so on. The domestic labour of pouring a husband's coffee, feeding children and washing dishes is presented on an even playing field with regular office work. As Born in Flames is a film about women's labour and radical political organisation, these montages are essential to its core concerns. It creates a thematic through line that establishes narrative cohesion out of the film's general fractured vision of feminist unrest. There's no question why it was important enough to Borden's work to provide her film its title. It's almost impossible to imagine Born in Flames without the Red Crayola's titular anthem, driving its rhythm and providing it thematic structure. There are other songs used in the film that are just as essential, but none feel like they could have held the same weight and repetition. Not even contributions from the other punk-heavy hitters like the Slits. That's almost an indisputable fact, given the way the Bloods track repeats 3 times throughout, but makes for a much less memorable impact. In this case, the movie and the song are one and the same. A DIY punk collaboration meant to jolt its audience into political unity and direct radical action. Repeating that message can only strengthen its cause. Born in Flames comes to the collection on Blu-ray, and it contains the following supplemental features. We have a 2K digital restoration preserved by Anthology Film Archives with restoration funding from the Golden Globe Foundation and the Film Foundation. It's supervised and approved by director Lizzie Borden. Introduction by Borden. New audio commentary featuring Borden, cast members Adele Bertai, Hilary Hurst, Sheila McLaughlin, Pat Murphy, Marty Pottinger and Jean Satterfield, and camera people Didi Halleck and Chris Hegedus. And regrouping 1976, Borden's directorial debut, an experimental documentary about a New York City women's group. There's essays by the film scholar Yasmina Price and the author So Meyer, and new cover art is by Gillian Adele. Told through a furiously fractured, kinetically edited flurry of television news broadcasts, pirate radio transmissions, agate prop, and protests shot guerrilla-like on the streets of New York City, Born in Flames is a shockwave of feminist futurism that's both an essential document of its time and radically ahead of it. Incidentally, Born in Flames marks the first screen appearance of Eric Bogosian. He plays a technician at a TV station who is forced at gunpoint to run a videotape on the network feed. The movie also features a rare acting appearance by Academy Award-winning film director Catherine Bigelow. Born in Flames has a running time of 80 minutes, and it comes in an aspect ratio of 1:33:1, and it joins the Criterion collection on Tuesday the 16th of September as Spine 1277. Next time on Let's Talk Criterion, we'll be taking a look at the comedy mockumentary. This is Spinal Tap, joining the collection on 4K UHD. So until then, from me, as always, it's goodbye, and above all, good Criterion viewing.